Today on Geek Devotions, we talk about the thing that keeps pirates from collecting the treasure that they really need. What's going on, devoted geeks? Welcome to Geek Devotions, a show from a couple of devoted geeks devoted to letting people know that they're loved. My name is Dallas. I'm so glad you hit the play button. Do me a favor, if you like what you see here today, hit the like button on our video. Subscribe if you want to see what's happening later down the road. Don't forget to ring our bell so you get notified every time we update because, yeah, it's good to have people involved. Recently, Celeste and I went out and watched Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. And let me tell you something, it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. There was good humor, there was action, it was just a fun movie. It wasn't a movie of the year, but it was a fun movie to watch. I want to encourage you guys to go out and watch it because it's fun. And let's be frank, that's what movies are for. They're meant to be fun. During this episode, I'm going to try not to have any spoilers of what happens in the movie, but if it happens, I'm really sorry. It's not on purpose. It's just that what I want to talk about kind of happens. In this movie, we meet a new character, Captain Salazar, who is a Spanish captain who is out for revenge. His father and his family were all murdered by pirates, and so what do you do in this situation? You become the Batman of the sea. You go out and you fight pirates. You fight the villains that killed your family. Really, this is the exact same thing that went through my mind when I watched that. Batman of the sea. Captain Salazar is our main villain in the movie, and he is out for revenge. He wants to take Captain Sparrow out of the game forever. My man is completely salty. I promise, I'm not trying to make a lot of sea jokes here. After Captain Jack Sparrow does something incredibly stupid, Captain Salazar and his army of ghost pirates and ghost sharks and birds and seagulls, they go after Captain Jack Sparrow. They want him. They're out for revenge. And through a series of flashbacks, we discover why. Quite frankly, Salazar, he's bitter. He's a real bitter guy. I explained earlier that, he's kind of the Batman of the sea. Parents dead, out for revenge for the people who caused all the issues, which I get. It's great. Mazel tov. However, he takes it to a new level. And his bitterness, his anger, his unforgiveness is what causes his entire crew to find themselves in their current state. Deadish, I think is the word you were looking for. Dead-ish. Because they're not quite dead yet. It's kind of like the dude from Mighty Python. I'm not dead yet. That's what was happening right there. They weren't quite dead yet, and they were out for revenge. The reality is that they are in this situation because of Captain Salazar. His bitterness, his anger, his unforgiveness is what caused what happened to take place that made them mostly dead. As I watched this, I couldn't help but think about life and the fact that reality is bitterness and unforgiveness. It causes issues really for everyone around you. A lot of times we have this bitter aspect about life and we think that whoever caused us to be bitter is now suffering because we're bitter, but the reality is it's not happening. In fact, bitterness just causes more issues for you and those who love you and that surround you. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 14 and 15 says this: "Pursue shalom," or peace, "with everyone in the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one falls short of the grace of God, and see to it that no bitter root springs up and causes trouble, and by it many be defiled." The writer of Hebrews is sitting there and he's trying to exhort the people saying, look, pursue peace. Don't allow bitterness to take hold of you, to get a root in your life, because it just does nothing but causes issues. Instead, he says, pursue peace, not just physical peace, not just with the people around you, but peace within yourself, peace within your spirit man. Because when you're in turmoil inside, right here, it causes issues on the outside. The more that you focus on the wrongs that have taken place in your life, the more that your vision adjusts and your perception begins to change. Things that weren't really a deal suddenly become a mountain. We hear the phrase of a mountain out of a molehill. That's because our perception sees something and we're going, man, that's huge. It's like, it's just a little bitty thing. It's really not much. But because we're bitter, because we allow bitterness to take root in our life, we can't help but see it as something completely different. Even right now, you're watching the screen and maybe at the moment you're going, something is off with the screen. When I started this last little bit, what I did is I started to kind of shift the color on the screen so that it's now dramatically red. And right now you're going, oh my goodness, this is really red. And maybe as you've been watching this, you didn't notice it at first, the slight shift. But the moment we came out of the scriptures, this started taking place. Why'd I do that? Is the jack with your head? No. It's because I want you to understand that when you're bitter, when you allow it to get root, instead of seeing things the correct way, you see it incorrectly. You see it like this right now. Everything is kind of this weird shade that doesn't make sense. You feel offsetting, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. But when you allow peace to come into your life, when you allow God to really heal you, all of a sudden, things go back to normal. Things become correct. Now, it's not easy. And please don't mistake me for saying, this is easy, just get over it, because it's not easy. Sometimes the transition takes a while to happen. It's not a speedboat where you just go the opposite direction, but sometimes it's like Captain Jack's ship. The Black Pearl is really fast, but it still takes a while to turn around. Even in the movie, you see Jack pull this move where they tie a rope around a rock, and as they're going around this giant rock, then they take this sharp turn and it moves out of the way. But you can't always do that. Captain Salazar couldn't do that. That might be a spoiler. But Captain Salazar couldn't do that, and that's how he ended up in trouble. Because he couldn't take the turn. It takes time to make a turn in your life. So don't get frustrated in a situation, but at the same time, actively combat the root of bitterness. Seek peace. Seek God, because that's when true healing takes place. Now, do me a favor. If you're bitter because someone has hurt you, understand, I am saying you do need to forgive them, but don't go with the mindset that, well, just because you've forgiven them, that everything's okay. What's happened to you, if you've been wrong, it's a real thing. Your pain you felt, it's a real emotion, and I am sorry for that. And it was not meant to happen. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make the action okay that took place that hurt you. But if you're pursuing peace, remember that's an action word. Pursuing, there's a process. One day you're going to be okay. It doesn't mean that the person who hurts you just go, oh, okay, yay, welcome in. You're like, oh, you're my buddy. It doesn't mean that necessarily. There's a trust level that comes back. All right? It does. There's a working in progress. But there can be restoration. There can be peace. And there can be hope. Well, guys, that's your Geek Devotion for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Celeste couldn't be here with me today because she's not feeling too well, unfortunately. But she will be back next week with a fantastic Geek Devotion for you guys. I'm pretty sure it's on Wonder Woman, so that's pretty cool. If you like this Geek Devotion on Pirates of the Caribbean, you really need to check out the one that I wrote for Geeks Under Grace. So we wrote a full-fledged Bible study for them. There will be links down below right here. And do us a favor, go see the movie. Go see Pirates of the Caribbean. Gather your friends and do the Bible study. Or watch this episode of Geek Devotions, one or the other. You know, have fun with it. Do both, actually. Do both. Because, to be honest, I love my friends at Geeks Under Grace. I'm proud to call them friends and colleagues, and I'm proud to be part of what they're doing. And so check them out, Geeks Under Grace. Also, don't forget to check out our social media and also, especially, our podcast. Don't forget that our Devoted Geek of the Week will be named at the end of every podcast. So this Sunday, after the end of the podcast, I will be announcing this week's episode, or this week's Devoted Geek of the Week. Last week were our friends over Fusion Youth Ministries from, I think it's Pleasant Grove Assembly God, my friend Paul Turner. You guys saw him last week. Check that out. But they were in Honduras this week doing some amazing work. And Fusion Youth Ministries, we're proud of you guys. Great job this week serving the Lord and doing something amazing in the world. So that's really it. I'm rambling now. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Don't forget to stay devoted. Peace and love.